I have my friend Lou videotape.
Yeah, that's fine.
If
Yep.
that's okay.
Make sure you get the, not me from the neck up, but get the
Thank you, Ivy. Thank you all. Wow, these are great stories. Best laid plans. A few decades ago, I was 29 years old. So I'm 29. I just left a 6-year tenure with Price Waterhouse as a CPA. The future is bright, but I decided I didn't want to be in that corporate environment. I was living as a straight-laced male, and I really felt like I should be a woman, or at least androgynous with longer hair, so that people could mistake me for a woman. So I leave Price Waterhouse. The plan was I was going to make partner, make a lot of money. I met a woman, we got married, but I decided I wanted to be freer, a little more creative, live on the right brain, the right side of my brain. So I opened up a large toy store, about as big as this room. And I'm in this store. I'm 29, and none of my employees were there that day. It just so happened. Delivery guy was on a long delivery, somebody was sick, somebody was going to their kids' schools, and there I am, alone in the room, and in walks a guy about my age, a little bit taller. He's about 28, 29, ruddy complexion, reddish hair, but something was off. I got a bad vibe from him. So I'm standing there, my hair is blonde, a little long, I have a sport jacket on, some bell-bottom jeans. From a distance I might look like a girl, I might look like a guy. It's not really clear. Call to him. Hi, can I help you? Very helpful person. He says, yeah. The vibe continued, but I go a little bit closer. I hate to prejudge people. So I said, you're looking for a gift? So I sold toys, baby furniture, some sporting goods. He said, yeah, my nephew. How old's your nephew? 12, 13. I said to myself, he doesn't know nephew's age. Anyway, he starts walking toward me, and behind me is shelves with these electronic games which were popular then, $29.99, probably worth $70 today. He says, how about one of those? I said, well, it's $30. And he was sort of a disheveled look. I wasn't judging him to be poor, but I was trying to help him out. I said, how about you get one of the baseball bats for a 12-year-old? He says, all right. He walks with me toward the front of the store where the glass is. The store was about as wide as this. And I had 3 boxes of bats. So I went over to the bats, and I'm looking through this box for a short bat for a 12-year-old. What happens is he walked behind me, and he went over to this box, and he pulled out a long bat, and he went behind me, and I saw out of the corner of my eye that he went up with the bat, and he came down on my head. And I went down, and I was out, and I was hemorrhaging. That I found out later. My head was fractured in 14 places. I'm out. Phone call rings. My distributor, Joe Sobel, on the phone. I answered, I crawled to the phone. Hello? He says, my name at that time was Frank. Frank, is that you? Doesn't sound like you. What's up? I said, I look down, I see the bloody bat. I see the blood. I put the hand on my head, like scratching it, like what's going on? And I feel all the blood. I said, Joe, I've been hit. Somebody hit me with a bat. He says, go next door, see John at the pharmacy, have him call the ambulance. So that's what I did. I went, he said, walk slowly in case you're hemorrhaging. You don't want to get more blood in your brain. I went over, but when I came back, and after I went to John, John said, sit there while we wait for the ambulance. I made the mistake. I had a big store. I had 3 different entrances. I walked around, and to close the doors, and I went to my office that I built that overlooked the store. I saw $700 there. I looked in my pants. I had $900. There was $1,000 in the register. And then it dawned on me, he wasn't there for a robbery. It was like a hate crime. He didn't like the way I looked, or he didn't like something about me. They tell my wife that I had less than a 50-50 chance to live. And you know, that means like maybe a 10% chance, because they're trying to be positive usually. But anyway, luckily I get through it. The morphine helps. A lot. I'm worried sick. I had a photographic memory. I did really well in college. I had all these plans. I was going to make a lot of money. I was going to have a big house. I was going to be very successful. And what was going to happen is that my unbelievable brain would do it. And now what happened is that this bat ruined it, ruined that potential. I used to have a photographic memory. I could pull up pages of Chaucer in English lit class in my college. And now it was all the doctor said to me, you know what, we don't like what we see. You're gonna go see a specialist out in Hall Park, Long Island. I make the trip, an hour trip out to Hall Park, Long Island. When I get there, he says to me, wow, you look really frazzled. You look really frazzled. Okay, I'll wrap it. I said to him, well, I mean, I'm worried about my brain. He says, don't worry, just sit here, and I'll wrap this up within a minute. Just sit here, we're gonna put something on the screen, you're gonna see the visual stimuli, we'll see how your brain works. I said, oh, I hope it works. So I sit down, I watch, he's behind me. Next thing I hear is he yells out, holy shit! Again, holy shit! I look at him, I say, well, what's the matter? What's the matter? He says, your brain doesn't work like any other brain we've ever seen. There's so much transference between the left and right hemispheres. You shouldn't even be alive. So it got to me so badly. The result of that was that, and maybe the morphine, and maybe people telling me, you're too trusting of people. You should never turn your back, is that I planned to kill the man. I knew what he looked like. I went out to drug centers in the towns that neighbored, and I had a knife underneath the seat of my car, and I planned to do it. Planned to kill him. On the 5th night, when I turned down the street, where I had an intuition that I was going to see the guy, and I was going to come up to his throat like that and kill him, very much out of character. I was a loving person. I prayed and prayed with the hands on the steering wheel that God would see me through that and take away the hate and revenge I felt. And I felt a wave come over me. When the wave came over me of forgiveness, it all went out, the revenge went out. I backed the car up, I went home, I put the knife in the drawer, and I never told anyone for many years. Thank you. I'm sorry that story went a little bit long. Thank you.